Today's session is about Teams Premium, and I'm really excited to have my colleague Neve Birmingham with us today. Neve's another customer success manager here at Microsoft, and today we're going to talk about what is Teams Premium, why you might need it, what features are in there that you might find really useful, and then as always we're going to point you to some of those amazing resources. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you straight over to Neve, and she's going to get us started.
Brilliant, thanks Jo. So hi everyone, like Jo said, my name's Neve and I'm a customer success manager, and my role is all about helping my customers with the technology they already have to solve some of the problems that they might have. So we're going to talk about Teams Premium today, what Teams Premium is and why you might need it. So essentially, Teams Premium is an advanced capability which helps make Teams meetings more personalised, more intelligent and more protected. And it also enables premium capabilities for additional meeting scenarios like virtual appointments and webinars. And we're going to go through that in more detail. Just to be super transparent from the start, this is an additional license and it builds on the capability of Teams as you use and as you know it today. So as we go through, I'll make sure to sort of cover what core Teams has available and then how Teams Premium builds on top of that. But Teams is going to continue to get the investment from our engineering team, and you'll see lots of new enhancements coming to Teams. And there's also going to be lots of new enhancements coming to Teams Premium as well as time moves on too. So let's get started. So let's start with the problems that we're trying to fix. So we run multiple surveys in Microsoft, and in 2023 we ran the annual Work Trend Index report, and some of the things that came out of that report were such as the #1 disruptor of productivity is having inefficient meetings. I'm sure we can all relate to that. People are in 3 times more meetings and calls a week since February 2020, so basically since COVID. And 68% of employees don't feel like they have enough time for uninterrupted focus time in their day, and I can certainly relate to that. And 62% of people say they feel like they're spending too much time searching for information. So what Teams Premium is doing is trying to fix some of those key problems. I'm going to walk you through how that happens. So we're going to break it up into 3 areas today. The first one is intelligent productivity, then we're going to go into advanced protection, and then into richer engagements. So let's start with intelligent productivity. So in this section, we have 2 key parts. The first one is intelligent meeting recap, is a personal favourite of mine, and also live translated meeting captions. So live translated meeting captions is the only part of core Teams that moved into Teams Premium. So everything else in Teams, as you know today, has stayed there and will stay in that normal experience. But this is the only thing that moved from Teams into Teams Premium when it was launched. So but let's start with intelligent meeting recap. So really, now we have so many meetings in our diary, so many back-to-back sessions. If we go off on holiday for a week, or we're off ill for a week and we come back, there is so much to catch up on, and it's really difficult to know where to start. And also, there's so many meetings that you might only be interested in a slither of that meeting rather than attending for the entire hour. And intelligent recap is really your best friend in these situations. So first up, when you come into your meeting, you navigate to the Teams calendar and open up the meeting, and then you head to the recap tab. So you'll see straight away that you can watch the meeting recording directly from that recap tab. But you can also choose to watch it in stream if you prefer. And then you have things called timeline markers, which if I just highlight with the laser on the screen, you should see them here. And this is where you'll see and when you've joined the meeting, which is this little icon, anywhere you've been mentioned, anywhere you shared your screen, and then also when you've left the meeting as well. And you'll also see the speakers, who speak during their meeting, when they spoke, and it allows you to jump to the moment in which they spoke as well. And these speakers are organised by the people that you work most closely with. So if your manager's in the meeting, you'll be able to see where they've maybe contributed to that meeting and make sure you don't miss anything really important. You'll also see the topics tab next to the speakers tab, and this identifies all the key topics and a timestamp for when they were discussed. So if there's one topic you're particularly interested to, you can really quickly navigate to there. And then just a different view, so moving on to the chapters section, this divides your meeting into sections and again helps you to navigate to the section that you're most interested in, saving you time. And all the content that was shared in the meeting is available here as well. So long are the days where you have to try and find a PowerPoint presentation from a meeting that happened a few weeks ago. You'll be able to really quickly navigate to that. And then I wanted to highlight here as well the AI notes. So this automatically captures key points and takeaways after the meeting, and it uses ChatGPT to be able to do that. And it allows you to stay fully present in a meeting without actually having to capture any minutes. So you can properly listen and properly absorb that information that's being shared. So if you have Teams without Teams Premium today, you'll have a more simplified view of recap, but hopefully this sort of gives you the advanced capability that Teams Premium gives you. Also, I want to highlight as well, if you have Copilot, you'll have access to this, but Copilot will give you additional capability to be able to interrogate that, that meeting recording, to be able to get like sentiment analysis and stuff like that. So this just gives you a small part of that, but I just wanted to be really transparent with that part of it too. So moving on, you also have live translated meeting captions in Teams Premium. So you'll have live captions and transcription today in Teams, but this gives you the ability to translate any meeting captions to another language. So you can turn on live captions, and with Teams Premium, you will get a little settings button, which you'll see on the screen. And this allows you to select a spoken language and a language in which you want to translate it to. So if you are having maybe a global session with lots of different people with different languages, you'll be able to make sure that everyone is able to follow along with that conversation. So moving on to the next section, which is advanced protection. So with advanced protection, you get the ability to watermark content. So pre-COVID, if you're having highly confidential meetings, you would most likely take place in a meeting room and you can control what's shared and who is in the room. But in a hybrid world, that can be a little bit more challenging. So with Teams Premium, as part of the meeting options, you have the ability to turn on watermarking. And you can do this whether it's a single watermark or a repeated watermark. And what that does is it displays the email address of the meeting participant, allowing each meeting participant to see their own email address overlaid over the meeting video or the shared content. And so it makes them less likely to share that content outside of the meeting because their name is plastered all over it. And you can also turn on something called end-to-end encryption as well, or E2EE. And this helps add an additional layer of privacy where only the participants can hear or see the conversation or the communication. And when in Teams meeting, when they are end-to-end encrypted, nobody except for the participants in the meeting can hear or see that communication. No other party can do that, including Microsoft. So it's just the participants of the meeting. Okay, next up is meeting controls. So again, in Teams today, you'll have lots of different meeting controls, but Teams Premium just has that advanced layer of additional meeting controls to give you a bit more flexibility. So things like being able, your IT teams being able to set up like templates for meetings, so that your employees have templated meetings for different privacy things. So for example, your IT team might have it set up so that all external people must wait in a lobby and you can't change that or overrule that as a meeting organizer. You also have the ability as well to restrict the meeting recording so that only the organizer or co-organizers can turn on that meeting recording, giving them a bit more control. And also, if you have E5 and you're using sensitivity labels, you'll be able to turn on a sensitivity label on your Teams meeting as well. So it just gives you a little bit more security capability over and above what Teams does. Okay, and then lastly, we're moving into the richer engagement section. So with Teams Premium, this gives you the ability to infuse your brand into virtual meetings, and you can do this at every stage. So this will be from the meeting invite to the join page and throughout the meeting as well. And it will give you the ability to set up organization-wide backgrounds and publish those to your users. So for example, here at Microsoft, we have a background with the Microsoft logo on it, and that is published to all of the Microsoft employees to be able to turn on that background. But it also gives you the ability as well to have together mode scenes that you can create for your organisation as well. So it just gives you that bit more branding when you're in your meetings. In Teams today, you obviously can change your background and you can use together mode scenes, but you just won't be able to publish them all wide like you would with Teams Premium. And then next up is Microsoft Mesh. So I'm going to play you a video here because this does a really good job of bringing this to life. But again, with Teams today, so the core Teams, you can use avatars for Teams. So you may have been playing around with that yourselves. And you also have immersive spaces as well. But with Teams Premium, you get the ability to host like more custom and larger sized experiences with Microsoft Mesh. So I'm going to play the video and then we can talk about it a bit more.
Sometimes hybrid meetings can feel a little impersonal.
Hello?
Avatars for Microsoft Teams gives people the choice to show up how they want, helping them feel more comfortable and included. But can we take digital presence a step further?
Just a minute.
Immersive spaces for Teams help interactions feel more engaging, more connected, and more natural.
Great job, Miriam.
Yeah, nice presentation.
But what if we could take it even further by building a custom immersive experience just for your organization? Microsoft Mesh elevates orientations, trainings, and employee experiences by transcending time and space. No matter where you are, you can come together in one place. Connect like never before with Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Mesh.
Maybe some like large scale employee events, but that could be a global event where you don't actually have to fly everybody to a single place. This could be for any training that you might have across the organisation, any onboarding, or maybe even any tours of offices where you don't actually have to be there, or internal product showcases as well. So there's loads of different options in which you could use Microsoft Mesh, and hopefully that's just giving you a little bit of a flavour for what's possible. But if you have Teams Premium and you want to build those more custom experiences, there is a no-code editor, so you don't need to be a developer to be able to build out these different immersive experiences. You can use the simplified tools to help you do that. Okay. So next up is something called advanced virtual appointments. So this is something that builds on the capability of bookings. So if you have used bookings before, you'll know what that is. But bookings is something that's available inside of Teams today. So with part of your existing licensing, and advanced virtual appointments just builds on top of that. So really, with the onset of COVID, there was a bit of a frantic scramble amongst industries to rethink how they conducted business. And that led to like a real explosion of online meetings and appointments, which really transferred how businesses communicated with their customers. And so connecting virtually is now a necessity, and it gives you the option to be able to engage with your customers in new and different ways. So that could be whether it's like mortgage appointment or a doctor's appointment, or even things like bra fittings. We've seen our customers use this for. So you do have some of this capability with bookings, but with Teams Premium, you have additional functionality. And some of that is, for example, sending text message notifications to reduce any no-shows and make it easier for attendees to be able to join those virtual appointments on their mobile phone. You can also set up text messages by default when you create these virtual appointments. And so attendees will receive a personalised confirmation and reminder text message with the details of their appointment, the date, the time, and the joining link as well. You also, with Teams Premium, you can create like a branded lobby room for your customers to wait in. And coming soon, we're going to have post-appointment follow-ups as well, which is built into the experience. Okay. Next up is advanced webinars. So again, you probably would have used webinars with your core Teams capability, but advanced webinars is an additional step on top of that. So with Teams Premium, you get these advanced webinars and you'll be able to do things like add branding to your event communications. You can upload like a banner image, a logo, select a theme color. You can also have the ability to edit a variety of automated email communications to your attendees as well. You'll have this virtual green room, which is like a separate space for your presenters so that you can stage your content, you can prepare for your session before you let anybody in, and also respond to any chats and Q&A with attendees as well. With the registration, you can actually open a wait list. So if you're oversubscribed and people drop out, you have a wait list of people to be able to join. And you can set start and end times for registration as well. So if you only want sign-ups during a certain period of time, you can do that. And then you can do things like hiding attendee names so that you can be more compliant with GDPR regulations. You can choose exactly what shows up on your attendee screen. And you also have our RTMP in, which is a way of bringing like pre-produced content into your meeting. So whether that's like a high quality video and then the meeting, or a streaming video from a service, and you can share that with your attendees during the webinar as well. And then you have the ability to dive into post-event engagement analytics. So you can discover like how your attendees reacted throughout the webinar and when they reacted as well. Just as a reminder, whether it's Teams core webinars or Teams premium webinars, the limit is 1,000 people for webinars. And then lastly, you get advanced town halls with Teams Premium as well. So again, with normal Teams, you get town halls, but with Teams Premium, you get this additional capability of your team with your town halls. So with your town halls in Teams Premium, you have up to 20,000 attendees. But with normal Teams, you have up to 10,000 attendees. You can host 50 simultaneous events with Teams Premium, whereas with normal Teams, it's 15 or 15. And events can be hosted with Teams Premium for both internal and external audiences as well. And with Teams Premium, you can customize automatic emails that go to your attendees, including your event invite and a follow-up email after your event with the link to the recording. And then also with Teams Premium, you have this in-the-moment insight. So you can look into the health of your event with like real-time monitoring, and that's provided through Microsoft ECDN. So lots of our customers actually spend loads of money on third-party ECDN solutions. So if you are looking at Teams Premium as part of a business case conversation, a cost saving on a third-party ECDN might be an opportunity to save money to potentially invest in Teams Premium. So conscious we have gone through a lot today. If you are interested in learning a bit more about Teams Premium, there's some great resources on this slide, but I would strongly recommend to reach out to your Microsoft account team if it's something that you want to learn more about and see how this could fit into your organisation. But thank you so much for joining today. Back to you, Jo.
That was great. Thank you so much. I think, the reason why we want to make sure that you know everything that's in Teams, then you can make your decisions on what you need and what you don't need. Lots of questions we usually get about Teams Premium is, what do we actually need a Teams Premium license for? Some of the bits of functionality, because some of the functionality you actually just need it as the person setting up the event. And then some bits of functionality you need a license for everybody. So there's some great links there that will give you all the information that you need anyway. So let me just see if I am now sharing these slides. Brilliant. Yeah, so there's another set of questions we get off customers as well, especially with Copilot coming in, is, well, how do I know whether I should just buy a Copilot license or a Teams Premium license if it's the recap that I'm really interested in? So there's a bit of a comparison chart there to help you understand what's in each area. And that is it from us today. If you've got any feedback, I'm sure Niamh would love some feedback. Please do let us know. Also, what you would like to see in the future, as always, we welcome that. I've put the link in the chat there as well for you. Next week, we have invited our early in careers to come and talk to us a little bit about what their favourite tools are, how they use them. Maybe they can give me a little bit of insight on how I could be using them better. So yeah, we're excited to see what they've got to tell us there. We're going to do a bit more on Viva Insights as well, and then we're going to invite our early careers to come back and talk to us about Copilot as well and how they're using that in their day-to-day. So thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thanks, Niamh.